What's huh?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Good morning.
Oh, I should have started with a hat on. I'll have to. Good morning and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I got distracted many times.
So not a thing.
Last coughs, get them in. I keep losing track of like things I need to do or have done, or look, I did my braids again. Because when I wash my hair, which I do every few days, then it's easier to do these. So, but they don't really show up against my lovely shawl. Isn't this a lovely shawl?
For Halloween, if you wanted a costume, you could put a coat hanger or whatever in your braid and do the Pippi Longstockings.
Oh God. Something a little thinner than a coat hanger,
Well,
maybe that's hard to
probably.
bend.
Yeah.
And would, but who wants me to be Pippi Longstocking for Halloween? I finally have long enough hair. Good morning. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner. I'm like, where are we? Let's go. I got sleep last night.
It's morning.
Welcome to the sideshow. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in very rainy and wet and yucky Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
Mm-hmm. There's something on this. That was your bag.
That was my bag.
All right, I have too much stuff over here. Oh, and I'm gonna have to. I'm not ready.
What?
We'll make do. There's, I'll make Liz vamp while I do things so we can be showing things off to you, or things I wanted to show off to you.
So not a thing.
So here's what happened. You see what happened was.
See what it happened was.
I'm really close to finishing the sleeves on my easy Eyelet Yoke Cardigan.
And that's like the all you have to do.
No, I have to do the ribbing on the front of the cardigan after that. It's very small.
Okay, so that's almost all you have to do.
Almost. I could not do the ribbing on the front and call it done, but it would look weird. But and I stopped a few rows short of the full length of it, and I think it's gonna be like one of those sweaters that shows off my muscles and my arms really well because it's a little slim line. There's a note at the end of the pattern that says, if you want to use it as a layering piece, don't do as many decreases on the sleeves. I saw that when I finished all my decreases. Because I was trying it on last night, like one sleeve at a time, because they're connected and it's hard to do both. And I was like, this is snug. I think I got gauge. I think I did. I think it's just they're snug sleeves.
We were watching Doctor Strange last night, and the part where he's playing with the time thing, and they're like, no, there's bad things that could happen, and he's like, well, I haven't gotten to those yet, and why would you write something without putting that in the beginning?
Right? Yeah. So yeah, there's some lovely notes at the end. I love the pattern writer, so I'm not knocking the pattern writer at all, but yeah, I went, I can always back it out, but I kind of want to be done and move on. So we'll see. So I have stopped it. You're supposed to do like 90 rows before you do the cuffs. But when I tried it on last night, I was at like 85 and I was already like here. I have short arms and usually my row gauge I can't get my row gauge to hit anyway. So I just said, you know what? And it's snug. I'm just going to hit the ribbing. That's what it is.
Stretch out with work.
I'm still recovering from all the migraine-y things of last week. More migraines than I want to count, which is not good, but moving on. I think I'm in one piece this morning. That's good. What were you saying?
You look in one piece this morning.
Oh, good. I look in one piece this morning. You could tell last week, huh?
Maybe.
I got a little more sleep. So, but now I have to remember where I was. No. You see what happened was, so I decided to start the cuffs this morning for morning meditation. And it's only like 8 rows and I only have 32 stitches right now. I'm like, I can finish this before we film this morning. And then I set it down to take my photos after my filming. And the cat said, I've been sleeping on this so long. You finally put it down again. Thank you. And he climbed on it. So doing more rows. I mean, if you go to Instagram and check out, which is working today, by the way, if you go to Instagram and check out, not on my morning filming and photos, but the advertisement for Sit and Stitch tonight, he's on my sweater. So I didn't finish it because he looks so comfortable. And when he's happy, I try not to upset him. We know who's in charge in my house. Yes. But but I still might try it on for y'all. But oh, the bigger news is that I've been making hats. And I'm gonna make kits for, oh, they're so much fun. I'm gonna make kits for these. So here's hat number 1. I made all of these. Okay, the Axis, this lovely stuff that we just got in that we advertised last week, that this is the last day you can save 15%. Oh my gosh, I take a breath and she's like, you're never gonna finish the sentence. I have to finish the sentence for you. At least that's how I feel lately. It's all good. I should just let you, because then it looks like we're completing each other's sentences. 15% off as product of the week. Tomorrow we will have new products. I'm hoping we get in some yummies, but we may not. So we'll pick them tomorrow morning.
We might. UPS tried dropping off a box yesterday.
That's probably Bryson.
Oh, well.
The yummies are coming from FedEx. So we'll see how many visitors we get today. Okay, so 50 gram skeins. I took, let's pull them out. I took 5 of these 50 gram skeins to see how many hats I could get out of it. We're gonna make kits with 4 colors, but if you get the 5th skein, you can, I mean, with the 4 colors, you can probably get at least 2 hats, at least 2. I've gotten at least 4 out of the 5 skeins. Whoops, not that little bit of red. Okay. So these are the 5 colors, because this, okay, backing up, moving sideways, whatever. This is the Mountain Mist hat by Tin Can Knits. And it's very simple stranded color work. And you have all these little triangles, and isn't it lovely? And when I saw it, I said, Blue Ridge Mountains. I've tried to do a color work cowl, like taking another one to make to like show off the Blue Ridge Mountains, but it was designed for the Rocky Mountains, and it actually had like staggered, not big symmetrical peaks. Stuff. Huh?
Big peaks.
Big craggy, like asymmetric peaks. And it didn't really work. I mean, it's cute, but it didn't really work. This, I think, Blue Ridge Mountains, they're called the Blue Ridge Mountains because they actually look kind of blue when you look at them, and they fade when they get further away from you. But you don't have to do it in that order. So this is the first combination. And this is with Penumbra as my base. And then we have Blue Shift, and then Aurora, and then Parallax. This is going to be one combo. We're going to sell these for $50, which if you bought the skeins individually at full price, it'd be about $54. So $50 for that kit. So this is the first one. I'm going to start transitioning through them, but I'm also going to try to get my sweater ready so that I can try it on for you too. So while I'm doing that, Liz, what did you do this weekend?
I finished lots of these. A sweater.
You finished a sweater?
And I started a new project.
I'm struggling to get one sweater done, probably because I have so many sweaters on needles. See, this is connected like this. I have to switch this so I can actually try it on, or else this won't work.
I finished my fuzzy. Yeah, sleeves.
The big fuzzy dream.
Yeah, the baby butts and unicorn kisses.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Which is gorgeous. And you didn't have it on when we started the show because you would probably be burst into flames at this point.
It's 60 something outside, but it's really not cold enough for baby butts and unicorn kisses in a sweater. But ta-da! I have sleeves. I finished sleeves.
That's gorgeous.
I didn't.
Okay, so you put the
tuck
black
anything in.
you put the darkest color back in at the
cuff.
base.
Yeah.
And there's a light gray on the sleeves that's not even in the body because your body is short.
Yeah,
right?
because I shorten all my sweaters
Which is perfect. This is the really excuse me, this is the really cool thing about knitting and crocheting is you can design it yourself. And if you want a shorter torso, you can make it. If you want a longer one, all those crop sweaters out there, if you're not a crop person, make it longer, get more yarn. It's fine.
I did have to break into a second ball of white for just a tiny little bit.
Okay.
Of gray.
So
everything but the black, I had to break into a second ball. But
okay.
I have
So there's lots of yarn in that sweater because it's big and comfy
it's
and
size
awesome.
19 stuff, which made getting the sleeves done easy, but they still took longer than an hour.
So how many skeins of yarn do you think are in that? Which I have no idea in this one.
Close to 9.
Okay.
Well, I bought 2 sets of 5. And I think I used, and I didn't use all of the second ball, but in order to maintain all of my little stripes, I had to break into, I probably have 50 grams of some of them left or more.
So 9, and those are about $20 a piece, right?
Yeah.
So y'all do the math.
I work at a yarn shop.
She does actually get an employee discount. So technically.
So I did that.
But it's gorgeous. Yes. I get my pound of flesh out of her. She gets an employee discount because she works really hard to get that employee discount. So, don't feel too bad for her.
No, I have way more yarn at home than one should have.
Or too jealous of her. Maybe is the way to go. Okay, this is separated. Why don't we finish with your stuff though?
And then I started a Virus meets Granny shawl. It's a cross between
Virus meets Granny. So
yeah, it's a cross between a Granny square triangle shawl and a Virus shawl, which is all the little.
Is a Virus shawl not a triangle shawl?
It is a triangle shawl, but it's this pattern.
Oh, and then I see. I was distracted.
And I am doing it out of Feederbrook forms.
So, in other words, if someone wanted to do this, there isn't a specific pattern. You are merging 2 patterns.
There are specific patterns
for each part. Though.
For each part. And yes, like there are a couple patterns on Ravelry that mesh them together. Like everybody has their own idea of how it goes together. And yeah, but it's Granny stripes and
that's really pretty
bits.
When I last saw it, it was just this little part up here. That's the Virus part.
Yeah. So I am on my 3rd ball. And
because I was distracted, can you repeat what ball of what?
Feederbrook.
I know you said, I don't know.
Feederbrook. This one is Dark Energy.
Oh my gosh.
Bought most of it.
It's so gorgeous. And she bought most of it. I've ordered more, but she bogarted it. So, but I think, wait, go ahead. You finish your sentence.
Color change of yarn. Like everybody's like, ooh, we must knit with it and whatever. It looks so cool.
And I wouldn't have known that was Feederbrook. Like just looking at it without being told. And it's gorgeous and it's wonderful. And it just, taking a slow color change yarn like Perth or Feederbrook or one of those and crocheting with it. We've seen that in the Fall River. That it's a pretty amazing. It looks like a different yarn.
I like crocheting with the slow fade color changey because sometimes when you knit with it, it just kind of all merges. Like we discussed this Saturday that the Papillon breaks up those color changey bubbles.
So it looks like you did more work than you did.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
But when they're all knit, they kind of, I don't know. I don't like.
It's a more gentle fade.
It's a more gentle fade, but sometimes knitting with it.
I do not know what's going on. I'm gonna try some water instead of some coffee. Let's try that.
So, but I was like, crochet needs to feel the love of Feederbrook too. So
That is downright gorgeous. It really is. And I've ordered a lot more of that colorway just to bring it back up into stock, and it probably won't come for a week or two. But who is, I know it's someone from a random Pennsylvania. My phone is a Pennsylvania area code, and so they keep trying all these different Pennsylvania area codes. And then I can't see what's going on because the screen goes blank. And so, so I'm going to put this on in a second, but my sleight of hand, which most of you probably noticed, I put a new hat on. Ooh. And this is very close to the one I just took off. There's one different, people seem to like this. This is a very popular color combination. There's one difference. I took out the green and I put in dark blue. So Blue Ridge Mountains, like this is totally blue, right? So trying really hard not to cough into one of the hats because y'all might think that's kind of gross. So this is Event Horizon, and then all the same colors of the last hat. There is Blue Shift, Aurora, and
Parallax.
Oh my Lord. I paused because my brain doesn't want to pick up a piece of yarn and say words at the same time. And it's like, this has become a thing. Stop. I mean, you can, and my Siri's trying to record all this.
Of course.
You can, but then it breaks my flow. The heck? Okay, I want to lay down a rule, like wait 10 seconds before you assume I can't finish my sentence. But like that's gonna work. So this is another color combo that we are going to list. These 4 colors. I think they're gorgeous. Ta-da. And let's try my sweater on and see how much of my muscles you can see. Because I only did this one sleeve at a time last night.
Oh.
It's a little tight,
It's
right?
a little snug.
It's a little snug. I mean, I could back it out and take out like 1 or 2 increases in here. But lengthwise, I think it's good. I have to decide how much more work I want to do. It's tough when it's like you can see your watch through it like that. But it is cozy. Okay. Hang on. See, this is when you could be helpful in moving stuff.
Only I can read your mind.
See, she can't. She knows that's a trigger word for me, man.
I was gonna say it'll be great for fall when you wear your t-shirts and want something to cover your arms.
Yes, and this might block a little bit. I bet I could block this a little bit wider, but it is slimline. And I am 2 rows. I thought I was 3 rows. I'm 3 rows into 8 rows. I'm already toasty in this thing with between the hat and the sweater. Take a look at the back. The eyelets kind of show.
Well, they do.
Because I haven't blocked this yet, right? So this is just about halfway through the cuff. So the cuff is going to come long enough. This is why 85 rows was totally fine. Here's the thing about backing it out and taking out some of these decreases is then I have to like figure out again where I am and how many rows to do. I may just barrel through.
Is it a sticky yarn to back out?
It's a sticky yarn, but I don't think it's undoable to back out, but I have to keep track. That's all. So I may go back and take it out a little, or I may decide to block and see if the blocking takes care of it. But blocking might snug up again a little bit, so this is fun with my needle still on here. But I think this is a good length. Like I wanted me to go 5 more rows before I started the ribbing. And I think that would put it way down here. So that's the other thing. If you're making a sweater, if you can, try it on as you go. Since these were on 2 separate needles, I was like, I'm just gonna go, and try it on as you go, because then I would have known earlier that this is a little snug, right? And then the last piece, this part that's curling in, the last piece is going to be to put ribbing on these 2 panels to make the front ribbing for the cardigan. And to me, that's always a dicey proposition, because if you pick up too many stitches, it can be ruffly and it won't lay too flat. And I've already made it fairly, like I actually need to settle it back a little bit. I'm pulling it forward because I like a tighter neck. And I don't think this was designed to have too tight of a neck. Like it's decent. It's not like it's super loose and wide, but it's supposed to settle on the shoulders, I think, a little more like that. And then the ribbing. It's going to be a gorgeous sweater, but I may have to back out the sleeves a little. I want it to be done. I just want it to be done, but I might have to back it out and loosen up the sleeves a little bit. I have a feeling this might,
you could have, it stretches nice.
It stretches. So it's not like it's going to cut off my circulation. I will ponder this. Or I'm probably going to be wearing it up like this most of the time I'm wearing it, because that's my thing. But
I kind of think that with them tight in the fall, as it gets chilly in the morning, you can wear them down and then pull them up, and it might block with wear.
Block with wear, and just gentle blocking when I make it could help it, because aggressive blocking will leave it too wide. I still might block it just to see.
I know.
It will probably let the eyelets settle a little bit. We'll see. I always have that kind of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Words are not working. See, that's when you could fill in my sentences right there, but I just told her not to. So, I can't really be that upset. I can try to figure out how many skeins, because they're 50-gram skeins. So let's see, there's one here. I haven't sewn any ends in. I haven't sewn, other than closing off top of these hats, I haven't sewn anything in on these hats either. So there's lots of ends inside these hats. But one, let's see, that's
ends are okay.
Two. There had to have been another one in here somewhere. I think that's three. Oops, I'm knocking yarn on the floor. Four. I want to say there's 6 or 7 balls of yarn in this at least. You think I'd keep better track, right? But it's me
on Ravelry.
Yeah, if I just kept track on Ravelry, I'd be fine. But I need to find more time in the day to do that. So, what else have I? Ooh, you know what I need to do? I haven't made a whole lot of progress on this, but I feel like we've been updating you, so I should show it to you. I stalled out on it a little bit because I was making hats. I showed you all this hat, right?
Yes.
Did I wear this on I wore this even on Wednesday. I finished that one even on Wednesday. So I'm making hats galore out of the Axis. I really want to make a sweater out of this, but we don't have enough yarn, because then I can't sell it to y'all, because it'll all be in my sweater. So
getting close to a sweater quantity of hats.
I could just tape them together all over me. Should have just made the hat. See what you did, Liz? I should have just made the hat. Okay, so I'm in the middle of section 11 on my Charlotte's Universe, and section 12 dropped this week. I'm behind. I made hats. So this is all that's left of my second skein of my Juniper Moon. And I'm just starting this top little part of these flowers. And let's see, which is the front and which is the back. That's the back. Okay. Can I ask for your assistance, Liz? Mm-hmm. Since I won't let you finish my sentences anymore. That's the beginning of the row with this pink that I've only gotten so far across. And I've almost made it all the way across one side.
Oh my gosh, this is now bigger than us.
Yeah. Look, I can't hold it up and show you everything. And I'm behind. There's 14 sections. Section 12 dropped this week. I'm still on section 11. Section 11, this is the bottom half of the flowers that you can see here. You make it the bottom half on one pass and then the top pass. And that looks so teeny tiny now when I look back at it.
I know.
Because I have to do it all the way across this thing. I have another skein of pink ready to go. And I'll be winding that later. I took it home last night and then I kept going with my hats. So not a thing. So this is my Charlotte's Universe. I am on my 6th skein, I think, of the gray, and I think I'm going to need the 7th, which is all I have left in the shop. Like, if you come to the shop, you will not see this gray because we're out of it, because it's all in here. But we have some other lovely colors, which we may or may not be talking about tomorrow. We have to see what comes in today. So there's that. And I'm not going to try any more magic tricks with the hats, but okay, this one had the same top, and then the third hat I made, I believe, is one of the color combos you picked, Liz. And let me find. See, there's a lot of ends in here that haven't been woven in, but this one starts with the green, keeps both the dark green and the, oh my gosh, they're so soft and lovely. So this one, if the light color in this, you're like, nah, that's a little washed out for me. This one starts with, again, with the green, the penumbra, and then goes to the event horizon, which, depending on how well I can color correct this, they're close, but they're different. They're both in here. And then we have the blue shift, and the sky color is the Aurora. This is also a color combo that we'll make. We're making 3 color combos for kits. This is very pretty as well. So, but I had all this yarn left over.
So much.
And so it became a challenge. It was like, and by the way, if you get all 5 skeins, which I haven't decided if we're doing a kit with all 5, because then you have to know that you have to pick and choose. So with all 5 skeins, you can make color combo. Like, this has all 5 colors, only 4 used for each hat, right? I had made 3 hats and I still had all this yarn left. So I made another one, taking the ones that I had a whole lot of, and I didn't have very much. This is after my 4th hat. I still have a little bit of parallax left, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if this was like, sometimes when you're driving down, there's a layer of mist. So I went with, this should be the mist color. And after the 4th hat, how much do we have left? 4 grams?
4 grams.
4 grams. Okay. So this is very different in some ways than the others, but then I made this one. How cute is that? Because this one, I still had quite a bit of the penumbra, 50 grams of the penumbra, that dark green, got me the bottom of 3 hats up to the first peaks. We have 3 hats here. And after that, I still have this little bit left. There's 4 grams
4
of that
grams.
left. So I don't know if 4 grams is enough to do the little in between. There's the mountain range right in here that doesn't need a whole lot. I don't know. I'd have to test that. I have this much left. It's a hot mess. I could ball it up, but I don't want to waste too much of our time. After doing the bottom of this one up to the peaks, right? The middle peaks on this one, and the whole top of this hat. 9 grams left. That would be enough to at least do another in between peaks, or maybe even a higher peak. I'm not sure. And then, oh, Liz is going to make that look pretty for me. Yay. At least I think that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm going to do.
Have fun with that, because it's a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
So the Aurora, I did, let's see, 2 top peaks. No, 3 top peaks.
3 top peaks.
3 top peaks and the whole top of a hat. And I still have, this makes me think that one of these might get you the whole hat. There's 50 grams for an entire hat. You're playing yarn chicken. Like, because it depends on how slouchy you want it. And like, these are beanies, what I would describe as beanies. You might be able to get just a single color hat out of 1 skein, but we do caution people, if you want any amount of extra brim so you can fold it, or slouchiness, which really is often, if you're not going for like a tam, is just making it taller so it can slouch back. Can you zero that for me? It got wonky.
6.
We have 6 grams left after 3 top mountain ranges and the whole top of a hat. Oh my gosh. Now this is the kicker. There's a crap ton of blue shift left. And the blue shift, let's see, the blue shift is not in this hat at all. Okay. But on these, I did 2 of those little middle range guys, which don't take a whole lot of yarn. It takes very little yarn. And I did 1 top peak on this hat. So I've got tons of this left. So this can be used in some kind of combination on another hat. I think this combined with all those other little bits of yarn, I can get a 5th hat out of. So technically 5 skeins, 5 hats. That means I should be able to get, if it's this size with a short brim and no slouchies, you could get 1 hat out of 1 skein of yarn.
Once again, gauge and needle size, and
someone else could say, yeah, someone else could say, yay, and then it doesn't work for them. Not my fault. My disclaimer, I don't make promises I can't keep. This is what happened for me. And this on the Mountain Mist hat pattern, all of these, I was doing the adult small size instead of the adult large. I wasn't doing the biggest size. I was doing the next size down.
You know what? You could do baby hat.
I could do a baby hat, but my challenge for me,
36 grams.
36 grams, over half of the skein is still here because this is 50 grams. My challenge is same size hat. How many can I pop out for like adult size heads? Like this could be Christmas for an entire family.
Yeah.
Right. Here's my thought. This may or may not be enough to do both the bottom and the top, but we had a knitter who really wanted to do, shout out to Dinah, excuse me, who really wanted to do the brim in 1 color. And then this first set of mountains, like she wanted to use 5 colors on the hat. So she was going to do the brim in 1 color. And here where the pattern says to keep going, she was going to switch colors. So the next set of mountains is in another color. She's basically going to do this color combo, but everything gets shifted down because the green would be here, the blue, the darkest blue would be here. And then the second blue, the third blue, and then she'd have that light blue for the tops. I'm thinking this can be the brim, and I can play yarn chicken with some of these smaller bits. I can have a smaller bit that is just from the brim to the first mountain peak, and I could have another smaller bit that's this mountain peak. And this could be the sky again. This could be 2 colors on it. And I could mess around. I can just, and if I had to, I also could do something with my little bits and remnants. Like I could do the lower part of these peaks with say the green, and the top part of these peaks with my leftovers of the parallax. So they could look like snow-capped mountains.
So you could Carolize it.
Don't tell Carol. I could Carolize for this last one. All of these others, I've tried to be following the pattern exactly as written to see what you can do, right? But for the very last one, and even this one doesn't have to look like mist. This one could be looking like snow-capped peaks down low. But I could Carolize it. I could have fun and just use colors if and when I want to. And if I run out, I use little bits of others. That might have to happen at knit night tonight, because I have yarn left. I mean, these little bits are way too small to go into a minion bag of mystery unless it's a really random scrappy minion bags of mystery. Are you looking at how much it is altogether? That's 100 grams.
58 grams.
It's over a 50 gram skein, which we're theorizing would be enough for these hats with my gauge, 1 color by itself. So I just have to play around to get 5 hats out of 5 skeins of yarn. Holy crap. How cool is that?
5 color work hats out of 5.
It's true, because because of the floats. If you look at inside of here, those are the floats from my color work. Isn't that pretty? So, would you be interested if we made a kit of the 5 colors and said, you get to pick and choose and have fun? Would that actually be of interest to you? The other option is buy one of my 4 kits and buy the 5th color separately. So I just don't want people getting confused with getting the 5 kit and saying, but the pattern only has 4 colors. What do y'all think out there? Let me know. So I have a lot of ends to weave in still, because the only end I've really taken care of is the top to close off the hat. But I have all these lovelies. Again, this seems to be the most popular one, just the blues. I have limited supply of these skeins of yarn left at this point, but we'll be throwing some of them into kits, but I have more coming. At least I've ordered more. They won't send it to me till I pay. You know, that's kind of how things work. So it might be a little bit before the refills come, but if you're interested in these, if you visited the Blue Ridge Mountains or live in the Blue Ridge Mountains, this is fun. So
They're so cool.
I had so much fun this week. I made hats.
You made like a hat a day.
Kind of, yeah. It depended on how much time I had to, but then over the weekend I did all the busy work I had to do, and then I said I'm gonna finish the hat.
I like that one. That one looks like night.
I know. Isn't that a cool idea? And I'm not necessarily making a combo of this specific one. The 3 combos I'm going to make for now, unless someone says no, I must have. This is going to be a color combo. This one's going to be a color combo, and this one's going to be a color combo. And hopefully it's fairly self-explanatory which one's which. I'll do my best to explicate online. If you get all 5 of them and your gauge is remotely close to mine, 5 skeins of yarn, not 5 kits, you could make this one. And you can see what I dreamed up for my leftovers if you end up having about the same amount of leftovers. So anyway, this is really fun.
Well, if you did 2 kits, you could make almost 8 to 10 hats.
Oh my gosh, if you bought 2 kits and it covered the expanse, you could just be a hat factory. Like, I'm thinking, I don't really want to make a whole nother slew of these, although I could for Christmas, but I might, or I could use these, but then we wouldn't have them at the shop. Because I really did want to make them all the same size, so you could just see your options if you walk into the shop or see them online to know what will happen, because sometimes you can see it and sometimes you can't. I just sent, so we have a knitter, Roxanne, who is out in the Southwest, and she was talking about the watermelon mountains out there that have pinks and reds and stuff. And so we're not making a kit of this, but another combo, we only have 1 pink and 1 red, and they may not be the right colors for those mountains, but I'm thinking kind of near the desert, we've got light cone, which is a nice
with a sky
tan.
blue.
This blue or one of these 2 blues.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you want it to really pop, you could do this. And the red doesn't have to be at the top. It could be that the pink is at the top. Either a bright blue or a light blue, whichever one you think works better. You can do different mountain ranges with this. We have, if you were going to do the Rocky Mountains, to some extent, I don't know if we'd put the tan in there. We might, but like, if you think the tan should be in there, the light cone, but we have grays that could go with blues. Like, depends on if you want to go dark blue, but I could see something like, if we're using the light gray, I would use a or
no tree line, tops of mountains and sky. And yeah.
And you could make your own color combo for the Rocky Mountains or for another mountain range. The Appalachians, if you're in New England, showing my roots. When you get down to the Appalachians, I really feel like you're hitting the Blue Ridge. So a lot of what we already did will work, but the possibilities are endless. We tried so hard to try to come up with one that would be for the fall foliage, because the leaves are already starting to change around here. And honestly, in this neck of the woods, like up north, it's the reds and oranges, and we don't have an orange in this color palette. But down here, the leaves change to this awesome yellow. So we were thinking something like this, but then the question is, if we have green at the bottom, does the green with the red get too Christmassy? But I could see this. I think this one was like the best one we could find. This one or this one for fall foliage. You could maybe, if we had a darker brown. If you want to do fall foliage, you're going to have to play around with it, because we couldn't find one that we felt comfortable advertising, right? Or at least not yet.
The color palette is a gorgeous color palette, but it's very small.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And since they were trying to limit it to 12, I mean, I don't even know how you would make those decisions. But so something like this, as long as the red and green didn't feel too Christmassy to you, this could be a very nice fall foliage. Or like I said, do the sky with this guy. Then it's very primary, but it could look fall foliage if you wanted it to. Or fall foliage at night. So you can create your own. I would love for these to be my Christmas presents to family. The disclaimer that I will put on it though is you should be making these hats from this yarn for people who know how to take care of it.
It's not machine washable.
It's not machine washable, which means if you give it to someone who is not going to think hard enough about keeping it out of the washing machine and the dryer, it will fit a doll instead of your head. So give it to people who will spot clean or will hand wash, and they will love it forever. And it is so soft. Like, I'm just loving having this on my head right now. It is ridiculously, gorgeously soft. I think 1 or 2 skeins of this by itself would make a gorgeous, like, cabled hat. Like, the possibilities are endless. I have not made hats in forever because I'm like, oh, it's a hat. And then this week I went, hats are so fast. This is so much fun. Why haven't I done a hat before? In fact, I'm planning on, not before, but in a while, I'm planning on doing my next tips and tricks about the basic anatomy of a hat when you're knitting or crocheting it, because we get so many questions on that. And I would have done it yesterday, but I was still getting through migraines. So, yeah, but I'm so tempted. I don't want to use up my own inventory, but it's been so much fun. So please get some yarn, make some hats. If you want to make a sweater out of this lovely, the small amount for color work is wonderful. But if this is going to be the main color for your sweater, depending on what size you're making, you're going to need a bunch of them. I'm trying to get more in stock, so we have a bunch of them for you, and hopefully all in the same dye lot. But it's not the nicest yarn we have in the shop, but it's close. Like, I think all the really nice yarns we have in the shop are nice for different reasons. That's the thing. It's hard to quantify, but it's good.
You're doing exactly what
Lily
Kate designed it for.
I'm sorry. I'm going to finish your sentences now. Turnabout is fair play.
I can't think.
She paused. She paused. Yeah, she wanted you to do color work. She wanted to use it for the good stitch definition, which isn't just limited to sweaters, but that's one of her advertising components for it. It's great for sweaters. And it is. I mean, for a nice solid twist yarn, but it's soft and it's wonderful. And the other ones we have that have a little bit of alpaca in them, like this has a little bit of a halo and fuzz. The other ones that we have a softer, like, twist and are fuzzier. So this is like the meeting of the middle of all the fun things. So I'm going to gush about it because it's new and I made stuff out of it. In theory, you could use our Ultra Alpaca from Barocco or what's left of our Sugar Bush Rapture with this. And that could be your main color to be more cost effective for the solid color on a sweater. They will feel a little different though. I will say, like, the Rapture and the Ultra Alpaca play really well together, even though there's a little bit of difference in softness because the spin on it's very, very close. And
it's the same percentage of content.
This has more of the merino and a little less of the alpaca, which just gives it a little more body in the twist, a little more structure. So they could be not interchanged necessarily, but they could be used together in a garment, but you will notice a little bit of difference between the two. That's all. So you're not locked into only using the same, like people have come in lately and they're just like, well, can I use these 2 different yarns together? And it's, you can use anything you want with anything you want. If you want it to look cohesive and look like it's the same yarn, that's not going to happen with some, like using my super fuzzy stuff here with this, that's going to look different. As long as you embrace that it's going to look different, have fun.
I would recommend, if you're going to mix yarns, that if you're mixing a non-machine washable yarn into a machine washable yarn,
like 2 yarns on the same piece.
Yeah. Like, we mix Feederbrook and Cascade 220 Superwash all the time. But in that, you have to remember this makes it non-machine washable.
Yeah, you need to go with the more delicate instructions. Like, yeah, go with it's like the lowest common denominator. It's like if you're mixing different fibers, you need to the care needs to go with the most delicate of those. And then if you're, say, our recommendation would be, if you're making, say, like a scrappy shawl like Liz did, Liz will always tell everybody you can mix and match weights, thicknesses, all different things. Make sure you are using a needle that is appropriate for the chunkiest, for the biggest, or else you're going to end up with really tight stitches at some point that you may not like. Like, if anything, err on the side of caution and go bigger with your needle. Bigger if you're doing scrappier things.
The least amount of care, hand wash, spot treat.
When in doubt, with anything that you have knit or crocheted, hand wash it. Even if it's machine washable, try to hand wash it. I mean, for baby stuff and things like that and things you're giving away, sometimes you can't. Like, I'm going to be making, hopefully, and if they still watch this show, it's not a surprise anymore. I'm probably going to be making fingerless gloves for everybody for Christmas in my family. And I'm probably going to do it. They may not be getting this yarn because, well, my parents might be able to remember, but I feel like life is chaotic enough and busy enough and what have you with my sister's family that I try not to give them anything that's going to be extra, like, needing to take care of. I try to give them something that, who cares if it goes in the washing machine, or hopefully it'll survive the washing machine, which limits the options sometimes. But we still try to find fun things for them. So, that's why we ask people a lot when they come in the shop. If it's a gift, does it need to be machine washable? Like, the person you're giving it to, will they take the time to hand wash, or will they not understand? Or is their life such that it needs to be able to go in the machine and come out in one piece?
More often than not, we get it's a scarf or it's a hat. How often do you really wash those? You never know.
It's very possible that they're never going to wash it. Yeah. For either good or bad reasons. But if there's a chance it'll get thrown in the laundry bag, err on the side of caution. Again, that limits your options. Some of the yummy yarns we have in the shop won't be on the list then. So
I would say take that into account with Afghans or baby blankets, like throws, whatever, whoever you're making it for. Don't assume that dogs will never get on the bed or the couch. Don't assume that children will never touch it. Like,
or if it's a yarn you absolutely just are dying to work for, just know that going in. Know that going in. But especially if you're treating yourself or your immediate family to something, then you're going to watch over it. So, all right, we got to go open the shop soon. So reminders of things. We have sit and stitch tonight. Virtual sit and stitch, 7 to 9 p.m. Shop phone number on Zoom to get in.
828-877-3550.
Tomorrow is the VSC, as some people call it, the most dangerous day of the week. The virtual shopping channel. This is on sale, and the color changing mohair is on sale only for today. Starting tomorrow, October 6th, we will have new products on sale. They might be old products, but they will be newly on sale for the week with 15% off. That is with the code product of the week with spaces as you check out online. Or someone this weekend said, oh, it works in the shop too. Yes, it does, but you have to remind us because we will forget. So,
and by remind us, we mean at the cash register
not
while
like
you're checking out.
Not like as you come in and you say, oh yeah, I'm here for the yarn of the week or the product of the week. And we're like, that's great. And then you're checking out and we'll get distracted and forget. So it's not that we don't love you. It's that we have too much going on. So please remind us as you're checking out. We will not take offense if you say, now remember, I wanted the 15% off because it's product of the week. And we'll go, yes. Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzy. We have one question so far. We would love more. So if you want to get something fast to us for this Thursday, you should email
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
And if you want to send us a letter that we will read on a later week, you can, excuse me, you can snail mail us at Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. And then we'll have Sit and Stitch again on Friday, 7 to 9. We'll remind you of it as it gets closer. We are not yet to the weekend Sit and Stitch, but it's coming up. It will be on October 17th.
It's not this week, it's the next one.
Yes. And then the week after that is SAF, the Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair. So October is busy.
And then there's Halloween, but we won't be here.
Halloween
the
is on a
31st.
Sunday. We won't be here on the, but the Saturday will be the Saturday stroll here in town and Halloween fest. And life is going to be crazy. So October is a big, long month. Enjoy it. And the leaves are already changing. So I almost feel like I want to get this sweater done so I can match the fall foliage in this area because a lot of it's yellow. So around Asheville, a lot of it's just like really yellow. So come see how that turns out. We will see you later all, but if you want to see us live, come to some Sit and Stitches. So
We'll be there.
we love y'all. We miss you. Stay safe. Wear all your layers of Swiss cheese. Do all your stuff. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.